Hello class. If you guys are watching this, that means that my case did not get solved on Thursday and I have to go back on Friday. Hopefully we'll be done on Friday and I'll be back with you guys on Monday. We'll get everything kind of taken care of, so if you have questions over the Chapter 4 retake or any of that kind of stuff, we'll get it all taken care of. I know it was kind of a crazy week and I appreciate you being patient and bearing with me, and we'll get it taken care of when I return, okay? So after the test on Thursday, you were asked to work on these 6 problems that says the SAT set number 2. Now, I don't have a copy of the original in front of me, so I just kind of went on my computer and wrote them down on a piece of paper. So the question here is a little bit paraphrased from what's on your paper, but again, I was just trying to kind of paraphrase it there. So number 1. It says, what is the value of x minus y? Now notice, the SAT oftentimes will give you a standard problem, but then they ask you to go one step further. So this isn't too difficult of a system, but notice you can't just find the x and the y value. So I've got it typed in here to my matrix, okay? So if you take a look at my matrix, I've already got it all typed in under the edit feature. Now, I'm not saying you have to use a matrix, but I just went ahead and doing it this way just to kind of show you, save time. So I've got it all typed in. So now I'm going to go ahead and tell this calculator to solve it. And notice I get 2 and 6, okay? So I get my x value to be 2 and my y value to be 6. So that's typically what we would ask you for, but again, the SAT likes to go one step further. So all we have to do is do x minus y. So that's 2 minus 6, which is -4, which makes my answer choice C. So I don't think that one was too difficult, but again, just kind of, wanting to expose you to these types of problems, okay? All right, number 2, again, I paraphrased just a tiny bit just because I was trying to write all this stuff down. So basically what they're asking me was the value of B in this second one. I really don't have to do anything with the first one, but I can just show you that if you plug this in, it does work. So if I plug in 14 for Y and -2 in for the X position, notice this comes out to be 12 plus 2, which is 14. So it clearly works in the first, but they're not asking me about the first. So what I'm going to do is plug this in for the second. So I'm going to plug in the 14 and the -2, just like I did before. Now I'm looking for what the B has to be. So when I work this out, I get this to be -8, correct? So if I solve that, so what would B have to be in order for that to come out to be a 14? Well, you can think of this just as a variable, and then you could just solve it. So we could just add 8 to the other side. So now we know that B has to be 22. So then if we just plug that into our calculator real quick, so we've got 4 times -2 plus 22. Does that give us the 14 that we need? And it does. So that would be the answer that we would be looking for, is that B must be 22. Okay? So again, not too bad, just kind of a strange way of having to plug this in. Typically, they'll just say, is this a solution? And you plug it in and say yes or no. Only this time, they're asking you for kind of like the intercept. So again, the SAT, just the way they phrase the questions are just different. Okay? We saw one of these last week when I was here with you guys. After we did the quiz, we did a couple of these. So if you pull out your other paper that says set 1 on it, you'll actually see one very similar to this. Only this time, it says no solution. I believe on the other ones we did, it said many solutions and something else. So this is just another variation. So for this to be a no solution, we want this to be a false statement. So we want it not to be equal, okay? So we got to get the variables to cancel. So my thought is,